Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you all?
I'm fine.
Only fine. Why? You should be good, no? Excellent. Sitting at home and studying at your own comfort. Okay, children. Fine. Students, we have completed, except for one, we
Our
have
new name.
completed the entire syllabus for our final exams. So, children, in your notebooks, Finding the King, Orpheus with his lute, Saving the Tiger, After the Storm, Mr. Young's Car, A New Name, Four Little Foxes, Past, Present, and Future. All the work of these chapters and poems should be complete. Today we are starting with the last chapter of our syllabus, that is Corvus. Okay, I'll be sharing a screen with you. Please be ready. The Corvus chapter written by Satyajit Ray. A very, very interesting chapter where Corvus is a name of a crow who is very, very intelligent and sensible like humans. So how he saves, why I'm saying he, because it has got intelligence, feelings like humans, and there are different characters like Professor Shonku. Wait, I'll just share the screen with you. I'm opening the chapter in an online mode. Wait. Okay, children, can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
So we will listen to the
Yes.
chapter very, very carefully. Before I start with the chapter, wait. Okay. Now here, if you see this, underline the main characters, Professor Shonku, who has made a machine that can transmit human knowledge and intelligence to birds. Please underline this line. It's an important line. So we have Professor Shonku, who has made a machine that can transmit human knowledge and intelligence to birds. And then he uses it to train a crow. The name of the crow is Corvus. And then when he shows the intelligence and the talent of its crow, in one of the conference of ornithologists. Ornithologists are the scientists, the people who study about birds. What do we call the person who study about birds? Ornithologist. What do we say?
Ornithologist.
Ornithologist. Okay,
Ornithologist.
underline this. Where was the conference taking place? Santiago. Where was the conference taking place? Santiago.
Santiago.
Please underline all these words, okay? And then he has a friend also, Rufus Grenfell. They both used to live together in a hotel, and there is one magician also, Argus. So this magician, he performs different kind of tricks. These magicians, they are very talented. They can hypnotize. Hypnotize क्या होता है? जब आप किसी को अपने वश में करके उससे कुछ भी करा सकते हैं. That is called hypnotism. So the magician Argus, he used to perform different kinds of tricks in its magic shows. So he comes to Professor Shonku and he asks about whether he could buy that crow from him because he was very talented. If the magician would use that crow in his magic shows, his magic shows will become very, very popular. So he asks Professor Shonku that whether he could buy the crow or not. But Professor Shonku said that the crow is not merely a bird. वो सिर्फ एक पक्षी नहीं है. It is more like a family member to me. It is like a son to me, and I will never give it to you. But then magician Argus, he was not ready to listen. He steals that crow from the house of Professor Shonku, the room of Professor Shonku. But then, how does he manage to save itself? That is what we'll read. Children, I'll play this chapter. Listen to it very, very carefully, okay? So, some words about the writer. This chapter is written by Satyajit Ray, who is an internationally famous Bengali filmmaker, writer, illustrator, and a music director. Illustrator hota hai, you can draw pictures and convey the story from that. His father, Sukumar Ray, and grandfather, Upendra Kishore Ray Chaudhary, were very popular writers all. Ray wrote dozens of short stories. His most popular literary characters include the young Bengali detective Feluda and the adventurous scientist Professor Shonku. So now I'll be playing the audio part. Please listen to it very, very carefully. It will help you to work on the pronunciation and how we should read a chapter. The way you read it in the class or the way this is being read. Listen to it very carefully, children.
Corvus by
Ma'am, I cannot hear it.
Ma'am, I cannot hear.
Ma'am, the voice is not coming.
Okay, children. So maybe there is a network issue at your side, so we'll read it like that. Okay, pay attention. अरे यार बेटा Okay, children, please pay attention now. Professor Shonku has made a machine that can transmit human knowledge and intelligence to birds. He can use it to train a crow. After the training, Corvus, the crow's demonstration at a conference of ornithologists in Santiago is very successful. Afterwards, Shonku and his friends Rufus Grenfell watch a show by magician Argus, who uses a lot of birds in his performances. Later, Argus comes to visit Shonku at his hotel. Now, children, please pay attention that the chapter that we are reading here, all the entries are made with a different date headings. When a chapter is written like this in different dates, that means it is a diary entry. Somebody has written a diary of, and what do we write in the diary? We write with our own personal experiences of what happened throughout the day. So the writer has written his own personal diary, and in which he has mentioned all his happenings. So Argus, now this is the description of how Argus looked. Please underline this. Argus was 6 feet tall with a parrot-like nose, slick and shiny hair parted in the middle, and a pair of spectacles so high-powered that they turned his pupils into a pair of tiny black dots. Children, when we wear spectacles which are of high power, our eyes, they literally look very small. So, what? Beta, I'm not able to hear you. Okay. So when what is the power of your glass? I asked. I is the narrator. Who? Professor Shonku. -20, he replied. But that doesn't bother me. None of my birds is short-sighted. Short-sighted means when you are not able to see far off things. So the magician is saying, I cannot see without my specs, but that is not the problem with my birds. That was on a lighter note, humorous, funny way. So then Argus laughed loudly at his own joke. Then suddenly froze. His eyes had strayed into the cage. Corvus had been asleep when he came in. Corvus, the crow, okay? He was asleep, but now wide awake and staring at the magician because he could understand what they were talking about. Ever since I read about him in the evening papers, yes, ever since I read about him in the evening papers, I have been anxious to meet you, and said Argus. I too train birds. I appreciate how tired you must be, but if you could just let your bird out of the cage, just one sample of his intelligence. So, had come there to see how intelligent the crow was, and he wanted to take it from Professor Shonku. He also shows a little sympathy that, I know that you are very tired. He's talking about Professor Shonku. He's saying that I know that you are very tired of training the bird, but I really want to see how intelligent your bird is. But here, Professor Shonku says, Siraf main nahi thaka hu. Even the crow is tired. So, Professor Shonku is very sympathetic, very kind. उसको सिर्फ अपनी नहीं अपने bird की भी चिंता है. तो वो कह रहा है, अब दोनों की conversation सुनो. प्रोफेसर शोंकू कह रहा है कि सिर्फ मैं नहीं थका हूं, इवन माई बर्ड इज टायर्ड, whereas magician Argus is saying that I know that you are tired, but I really want to see the intelligence. So here he is saying, Professor Shonku says that, okay, I will open the cage, but I will not force my bird to come out and show its intelligence. That is totally up to the bird. So he's treating him like a human being. Proper respect he is giving to it, and it is not forcing anything on him. So the first question is, how is Shonku treating Corvus? Who will tell me? How is Shonku, the Professor Shonku, is treating Corvus? Who will tell me the answer?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, please.
I'm like a human being. He is giving respect to the crow.
Yes, good. So he is treating it like a human being, giving it proper respect. Okay.
Okay.
Then is I opened the cage door. Corvus came out, flapped up to the bedside table, and with an unerring peck of his beak. Unerring is accurate. Accurate means he switched off the light and went back to its cage. Unerring peck of his beak switched off the lamp. The room was plunged into darkness. Plunged into darkness means there was a pitch dark. There was no light. Only a pale green light, which was coming from across the hotel street, flashed through the open window. Corvus flew back to his cage and pulled the door shut with his beak. So what this shows that what does the crow want? Does he want to show its intelligence or it wanted to sleep? It wanted to sleep. Yes, that's correct. So what kind of atmosphere created by the two sentences of para 7? That here the crow has created darkness in the room, which shows that it wants to sleep. Now, Professor, I could see that Argus was struck dumb with amazement. Dumb means he was so surprised to see the intelligence of the bird that without saying anything to the bird, उसको समझ में आ गया था कि उसका केज क्यों खोला, लेकिन उसने प्रोफेसर को और मैजिशियन को शो कर दिया that he is not interested in showing any tricks to anybody. He just want to sleep. So he flew to the switchboard, turn off the switch, and he went back into its cage. And that could read the meaning behind Corvus' action. He wanted darkness, he wanted to sleep. From under Argus' thin mustache, a soft whisper escaped his lips. Magnifico. He then spoke in a hoarse whisper. I want that crow. I regarded him in silence. I want that crow, repeated Argus. Look at me, Professor. I am Argus, the world's greatest magician. Next month, I go on a world tour. Do you know what can make my wonderful magic 1,000 times more wonderful? It is that crow. I want that, Professor. So he is forcing the professor to give him the bird. Okay. So now, as Argus spoke, he waved his hand before his eyes. Now, the moment Argus told that, I want that crow, now he's trying to move his fingers and he's trying to do something as if he wants to hypnotize whom? Professor Shonku. And when you hypnotize someone, you can make them do something with your own wish. So as Argus spoke, he waved his hands before my eyes like snakes swaying to a charmer's flute. If it had been anyone else in my place, see, if you are really mentally strong children, nobody can hypnotize you. If you can control your emotions, nobody can hypnotize. So here, this Professor Shonku, he was also a very intelligent person. He also used to control and teach mental techniques. So that is why Argus could not hypnotize him. If it had been anyone else in my place, Argus would have accomplished his object and got his hands on the bird. But Argus' plan wouldn't work with me. Mr. Argus, you are wasting your time. It is useless to try to hypnotize me. I cannot accept your request. Corvus, please underline this line, children. It is very, very important. Corvus is not only my pupil, he is like a son to me and a friend. Professor, do you realize that I am a millionaire? Millionaire means quite rich. For that bird, I am willing to pay you 10,000 euros. Euros. So here, this escudos. How do we pronounce it? Escudos. That is the currency, a unit of money used earlier in Portugal. So it's escudos. Okay. So I stood up, Mr. Argus. You can keep your wealth and fame. Corvus is staying with me. I want to sleep now, and so does my bird. Good night. So that was the way of Professor Shonku to make Argus aware that we are not interested in your conversation. We are not interested in your offer also. So please, it's better that you should leave. Argus bowed and left the room. I closed the door and went to the cage to find Corvus still awake. Looking at me, he said, "Who?" in a tone which clearly suggested a question. "A mad magician," I told him. "He wanted to buy you off, but I turned him down, so you can sleep in peace." So next is the diary entry of the 16th November. I wanted to record the events of yesterday night, but it took me better part of the night to get over the shock. Which shock is he talking about? That a mad magician had come and wanted to buy the bird. He also tried to hypnotize the professor. So this all happening, it took great time. The professor took great time to forget and come over that. That is why he could not write the diary on that particular day. But on 16th November, he is writing what happened. So before going to lunch, I went to my room, put Corvus into the cage and gave him some food. By the time I finished lunch and came up, it was 2:30 p.m. As I inserted the key into the lock, a cold fear gripped me. The door was already open. I burst into the room and found my worst fears confirmed. Worst fears here is that the crow was not there in the room. Corvus and his cage were gone. I ran to Grenfell's room and told him everything. He went to the reception. "No one has asked for your room keys, sir," said the clerk. "The room boys have the duplicate keys. They might have given them to someone." The room boys didn't have to give the keys to anyone. Argus had cast his spell over them and helped himself to the keys. The Consorejo. Wait. Concierge informed. Concierge is a person who help the people who come into the hotel. It's a kind of informant, the help desk. So concierge informed us that Argus had arrived at the hotel half an hour earlier in a silver Cadillac and had gone inside. So that's the name of his car also. 10 minutes later, he had come out carrying a cellophane bag, got into his car and driven off. But where had Argus gone? Wait. The concierge said, "If he wants to leave the city, there's only one road." We were off by 3:15 p.m. in a police car with 2 armed policemen. Before leaving, we found out that Argus had not returned home. I knew Corvus would not come to any harm as Argus needed him. But it pained me to think how unhappy he must be in the clutches of his captor. So here, if you remember, beta iska heater wala off kariye. If you remember, Argus wanted to buy that crow to make his magic tricks more wonderful. Now, even though he had literally kidnapped the crow, so Professor Shonku knew that he would not harm the bird. But then also he was feeling bad because the crow also did not want to go with the magician. It must have been feeling out of place. Petrol stations on the way confirmed that they had seen Argus Cadillac pass that way. After racing for more than 40 miles, we spotted a car gleaming in the sunlight. parked at an angle by the roadside. It was silver Cadillac. As our car drew up, we could see that Cadillac had swerved and dashed against a tree. But where was Vargas? What was the next to the driver's seat? I poked my head through the window. It was Corvus' cage. I hadn't locked it that afternoon, merely put the door to. Corvus had obviously come out of the cage, and then they must be wondering where is the crow? I poked. Suddenly, we heard someone screaming in the distance. A little way ahead, it was Argus. Where is that bird, Corvus? Suddenly, Argus stopped, for he had seen us. He stood with a revolver in each hand near some bushes. With an ear-splitting sound, a bullet came crashing into the door of our car. This was followed by 3 more shots, the bullets whizzing over our heads. One of the policemen raised his voice threateningly. Senor Argus, we are the police. If you don't drop your guns, we will force to hurt you. The police moaned Argus in a hoarse voice. I can't see anything. Argus was now within 10 yards of us. I realized his plight. His plight means his bad condition. He had lost his spectacles. Now you remember? His power was -20. He could not see anything without his spectacles. And that was why he was shooting in random. Argus threw down his weapon and came stumbling forward. I knew that none of his tricks would work in this crisis. The policeman advanced towards and retrieved the revolvers from the ground. While Argus kept groaning, that bird is gone, that Indian crow. Shonku, that bird is here, said Grenfell. Wait. I looked up, and sure enough, there he was, my friend, my pupil, my dear old Corvus, perched on the topmost branch of a tree and looking down at us calmly. I beckoned, and he swooped down like a free floating kite and landed on the roof of our car. Then carefully he placed before us the object he had been carrying in his beak, Argus high powered gold rimmed spectacles. Okay, children. With this, we have completed our chapter. Parth, what are you doing in this class, beta? Children, please turn on your cameras now. Mark the word meanings. Page number 108. Transmit, ornithologist, slick. For slick, you have to write only smooth and shiny. And short-sighted, able to see things clearly only when they are close. Page number 109. Unerring, write only accurate. Horse, you can write down rough voice. You can write down rough voice for horse. Then come to page number 110. Please write down escudos and concierge. Escudos and concierge. Page number 111. Swerved, light. And page number 112, beckoned. Children, I'm giving you another 2 minutes. There is exercise on page number 112. You have to write down correct numbers in which order. 112. Try to do this and then we'll discuss.
Sigma pi.
Dakshika, better after writing the word meanings, please share your work in the class group, okay? Share it on my personal window. I'll share it in the class group.
Okay, ma'am.
Done.
The first sentence is Professor Shonku brings Corvus Crow to a conference in Santiago. That is the first one. Second is Shonku watches Argus show and Argus hears of Corvus. Third, Argus visits Shonku wanting to buy Corvus to use in his shows. Shonku refuses to sell Corvus even for a high price. Argus steals Corvus from the hotel and drives away with him. Corvus takes away Argus' high-powered glasses, making him helpless. Argus is unable to continue driving, so he stops and loses Corvus. Shonku and others chasing Argus find him and get Corvus back. I'm sharing the dictation words in your class group. Thank you, class.